Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're just seeing me for the first time, I am Mary Mesoma, and in today's video I'm going to be answering some questions I've received so far after getting married in my early 20s. So I've gotten a lot of questions from young guys, from young ladies about marriage, how I knew I was ready for marriage and all those good stuff. So in this video I'm going to be answering these questions honestly. But before we go into it, if I get to subscribe to this channel, please subscribe, like the video, share, and drop a comment before leaving. Thank you so much. Without wasting any time, let's jump right into the questions. So the first question, somebody asked, how do you know if you're ready for marriage? Somebody asked me, like, how do I know if I'm ready for marriage? So let's assume that this person is young, just as I am, and the person wants to know if they are ready for marriage and now asking me how I knew I was ready to get married. Okay, so to answer this in all sincerity, I feel like when you're ready to get married, you just know, right? Your priorities align, your focus aligns. You start focusing on what truly matters. Maybe you don't even have a partner yet, but you just know that you've prepared yourself as a person. So me back then, how I knew I was ready for marriage was when I started having a lot of interest when it comes to marriage talks. I would listen to marriage seminars. I would go for conferences. I would attend seminars on marriage. I would ask my parents about questions relating to their marriage. I was just so much interested in marriage, and it was something I desired. By the grace of God, I was privileged to grow up in a home that I saw the beauty of marriage. So growing up and seeing that, I wanted that for myself. And I told myself that I wanted to get married early. This is something that I really wanted to do when I was young. So I knew that I wanted to get married early. And because of that, I already programmed my mind to start preparing for it at an early age, right? So I didn't wait until I was ready to get married before I started learning about marriage. No, I'm talking years back. I was already reading books on marriage. I would go to seminars. I would, listen to people's experiences about marriage and even pray about my partner. So doing all of this over time, it got to a point I told myself that, okay, right now, I think I'm ready for marriage. And yes, that was how I knew I was ready. And then the partner came along, things worked out well. And I'm like, why not? I found the bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. And I just told myself that, okay, it's time to, go into it. So that was how I knew I was ready for marriage. It could be different for you. You knowing that you're ready for marriage can come in a different way, but this is how I knew I was ready to get married at an early age. So the second question is, what age is it okay to get married? What age is it okay to get married? I feel like if you're asking me this question as a young person, there's a very high chance that you're not ready to get married. If you're ready to get married, you won't be talking about the age, what age is okay for you to get married and blah blah blah. But I understand where you're coming from. And I'm going to answer this question not in just one way. I feel like age sometimes could just be a number, and sometimes age is also more than just a number. So as a person, I feel like you must have met some people in life that at age 19 they are very mature, and you would have met some people, even the way they talk, how they reason in life at 30, and you're wondering, how are you 30? How do you reason like that? So in such situation, I feel like age there does not really play a huge role, because there are people that you would meet and at age 20 they know what they want for themselves, they are mature, they have high intellect, and there are people that you meet at 30 and then you wonder how they are 30, right? So I feel like it doesn't matter the age, as long as you are mature, you're an adult. It could be young adult, old adult. As long as you are mature, you know what you want, you make decisions for yourself, you know what is good and what is bad, you are old enough to take care of yourself as a person, then I think you are ready for marriage. When you start making decisions for yourself, when you know what is good and bad, when you know what to look out for in a partner, all of that, then you're ready. Doesn't matter the age, as long as you're an adult. Okay, we don't advise child marriage here. So as long as you're an adult, then I think you're ready for marriage. Next question says, was your husband the first person you dated before getting married? No, my husband wasn't the first person I dated before getting married. I had a boyfriend in the university. We dated for a while, but I had to end it because I knew that I was not going to get married to this person. So I'm like, instead of wasting our time investing in a relationship that I know that I'm not going to end up in, why invest so much? Why not just end it? So I had to end the relationship. We are still on good terms, right? He's a good person, he's cool, he's chilled. But I just knew that this is not somebody that I want to get married to. And I was able to know that on time. And when I knew, I was able to leave. So my husband wasn't the first person I fell in love with. No, he wasn't. The fourth question: how were you able to convince your parents that you were ready for marriage? Okay, like I said, when you're ready for marriage, it means that you are mature, it means that you know what you want, it means that you make decisions yourself, it means that you're grown to an extent, an adult in quotes. So telling my parents I was ready for marriage wasn't so much of a big deal because all of this, they saw it in me. If you're young adults, I'm talking if you're in your early 20s, you should have witnesses, people that can testify that you are mature. If you are the only one saying that you are mature, you are mature, you are mature, then there's a very high chance that you are not. There should be people in your life that can also testify that you are mature, that you know how to make decisions, that you know how to that you know what is right and what is wrong. So my parents then, they knew that I was mature to an extent. They knew that I knew what I wanted. Obviously, they tested me. They tested me, just to know if I was sure of what I wanted or if it was just infatuation and all of that. So I passed the test. I actually passed the test, and they were like, okay, she's ready for marriage and she really loves this person. She wants to go into it. So why not? So when your parents see that maturity in you, when they see that you are becoming a full-grown woman, you might be young, but you are mature, you know what you want, and it will also reflect in other aspects of your life. If it's only in marriage, let's say you've never made any big decision in your life before, marriage is going to be the first decision you would make, and then you want them to trust that you know what you're doing. No, there's a very high chance that your parents will doubt your decision and even your choice. But if over time in the past you've been making decisions, you knew what you wanted, and they saw that when it now comes to marriage, they will trust you that okay, to an extent, he or she knows what he's doing or she's doing, and they would still try to verify and all of that. So that was how it happened. Okay, I hope I answered your question. Moving on, the next question. This person said, did I have the financial stability before marriage, or do I need to have financial stability before getting married? This question, the answer is, what do you define as financial stability? Like, meaning that you earn something, you earn an income, you work, money comes in, and all of that. Yes. I feel like before you get married, you should have a source of income. Do not just get married and you're not working, you're doing nothing, you're just there. No. I feel like you should be doing something. But my case was quite different, right? I'm going to explain. So I got married when I was still in school, and before I got married, right, I actually had businesses I've done in the past. So I'm talking before I clocked 20. Before I clocked 20, I had my business. I was important. Yes, my parents will probably just be seeing this or hearing this for the first time. Before I clocked 20, I actually made my first importation. I had to go all the way to Ajao. If you're in Nigeria watching this video, in Lagos precisely, you will know where that is. So I had to go all the way to Ajao. I had to pass, is it Ojueleba or Oshodi? I passed all those areas as a young girl. I think I was just 17 then, or I've forgotten the age, but I was pretty young. I was not up to 20. I saved the money I got during lockdown, because during lockdown I worked with my parents, they paid me. I saved all those money and I used it to import my first goods. I was selling hairs, I was selling extensions and all those things. So I was already in business while in school. I had other businesses too. I was selling jewelries in my hostel in school. I was selling zobo. I was doing things. But at that point when I wanted to get married, I was not really doing anything. But my husband knew that this person is not somebody that you get married to her and she will not just do anything, because I already had traces of being a hardworking person. I was somebody that was very hardworking. Before 20, I was doing stuff. I was making money myself as a young person in school. So I won't advise you to get married when you're not financially stable. No. Do not depend on any man 100% for your basic needs. It's a no, no, no. So even when I got married and I was not working, I had money. Ask me how. I had savings. I actually have investments now. So as a young person, talking about getting married at an early age, I'm in my early 20s, but I have investments. Might not be so much, but I do have investments. I've done businesses before. I'm currently working now. As you can see, I'm shooting this video knowing fully well that I have a 9 to 5. I'm a wife, I'm busy, but I still make out time to do this. So seeing all of this before getting married, you know that this person is a hardworking person, and there's a high chance for them to do better if given the opportunity to. So yes, I've answered your question. Do not depend on any man 100% when you get married. Do something with your hands. Do something with your hands and your time. Just do something, okay? It might not be so big, it might not give you millions, but as long as it's giving you small, small money, I advise that you do something. That's a lot. So the next question said, how do you know he was the one for you? How I knew my husband was the one for me. I'm going to make a video about this, maybe with my husband, and we'll talk about how we knew we were the ones for ourselves. But in this video, I'm just going to answer this briefly. When he approached me, it was not, we're not there to play games. It was a relationship that we knew what we wanted from the beginning, from the start. We defined it. The talking stage was talking stage. It was not, have you eaten, what are you wearing, are you wearing green and blue? No. Our talking stage was 100% talking. We're talking about everything from faith to finances to work to family life to your mindset, your weaknesses, your traumas, your this and that and that. We were talking. And I know that people say that people can really pretend to be who they're not in that talking stage. But that is why it's good to be friends with people that you think you plan on dating before you actually date them. Just be friends with them to see what they are or who they are without the cover of relationship. So I knew my husband before I dated him. I was studying him before then. And then when we were talking, what I saw in him and what he was saying was in alignment. So over time, I prayed about it. I loved him. Our values matched. Blah 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 blah, and we are here today. 1 year later, I've been married to this amazing man, and I thank God for that. So we've come to the end of this video. I hope that it's not so long for you. I have so many questions to answer, but I just decided to go over these few ones. I would get to them as time goes on. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, drop a comment, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, stay blessed. Bye.